Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. Never get tired of saying that. Today I am working on a grapevine wreath for a bridal shower, wedding, something. It's just real creams and whites and pinks and a little bit of light green. Just something nice and light and bridally. I could see this like at a, at a wedding shower, baby shower maybe, even engagement, something, wedding day, Mother's Day. I'm just going around and cleaning this up a little bit. I don't know what was going on with the grapevines the last time I was at Michael's. They were just like all over the place. I was like, here's a round one. I mean, it looks like non-cats have been sucking on it, but I don't mind like an oval one. I just don't want one that looks like a triangle or a parallelogram or other geometric terms. I hate these. They're always in here, these like pine things. So this is something I do for every grapevine pretty much. It's inevitable that you have to do this. You don't have to, but not all of this is going to be covered. Like if I was going to cover this whole, look at that. If I was going to cover this whole thing with flowers, I wouldn't bother. But we're going to have some grapevine exposed. So I want it to look halfway decent. You know, I thought this was, I bought this because it was round, and now it's looking, well, it was looking oval, now it's looking round again. If you want, you can take these and bang them outside. You can pressure wash them to get the stuff out, but all I'm doing now is cutting off all these like stray bits. This has nothing to do with like the leaves and stuff, because this one, it's not actually that dirty, it's just like wild. And some people like that. Like, that's the whole reason some people buy grapevines, is because they want it to be, they want that kind of natural, crazy look. But this one was a little crazy. I mean, I cut stuff off before I even started filming. I think next time I see my sister, I'm going to get her to bring her pressure washer over, and I'm just going to take all these, lean them up against the house, spray all the gunk out of them, and then sit down and trim them up nice. Okay, so now we assess. It's kind of flat. This is kind of flat, so it could go either way. So what side looks better now? I like this section. Yeah, so we're going to do a bow up here. And then we're going to, all of our stuff's going to come out. Okay, I have a bow that I made a couple of, it's a couple of months ago now for y'all, but it was a couple of weeks ago for me when I was doing my bow making video. This is just a plain faux burlap bow. This is the ribbon from Michael's that was in the Christmas grab bags. It is 6 loops and a center loop. That's it. Nothing special. It's a little floppy. I would spray this with some Elmer's washable school glue spray, or a stiffener or something, but that's after I'm done messing with it and everything. So I'm going to put this on first. I think it needs to be up here. I don't know why I used a white pipe cleaner, but I guess that was what I had. I'm pulling that through. If you have a pipe color that a pipe cleaner that's a better color match, you can you can go around. Like if I was attaching a sign to this, I would go around the entire grapevine, but this wreath, I mean this bow doesn't need a lot of support, so I'm just going through the grapevine. In theory, I've been having to tape my fingers up every time I use pipe cleaners because they are digging into like here and here, but this is just one. Oh man, I really smushed that bow. This is just one pipe cleaner, so I think we'll be okay. And I'm going to show you a little hint, little tip. Well, I was going to show you one, but now I can't find anything. This is from one of my bushes we're going to use. Ugh. Gonna tuck this in. I'm going to take that. Glue it right there. This is providing absolutely no structure, no nothing. It's just covering up that pipe cleaner. I saw someone ordered wreaths from me and they were on a glass door, and I was like, oh no. I said, was the back of that wreath clean enough to go on a glass door? You know, like it had like a glass, it was a wood door with a glass panel, and I was like, ooh, so that's just if you're gonna hang this somewhere where somebody's gonna see the back and you don't want the pipe cleaner to be visible, especially because it contrasts so much with the wreath. You can throw a leaf on there. We all have extra leaves left over because they're usually pretty crappy and we don't want to put them in our wreaths. Alright, so my floral selection is, I have some big peonies. What are these exactly? These are ranunculus. They're all kind of the same colors. I have some roses. These Hobby Lobby roses. Tulips. A little bit of the green to contrast with the pink. I have a white thing of tulips. Here's the other big peony. Some eucalyptus. Some other kind of gray-green floral. And some more eucalyptus in a different shape. And some lilac. So, yeah. I'm going to start off with, I don't think I need a base. You know, if I'm putting stuff in here, if I'm putting a bunch of florals in here, I sometimes add a base of like ferns or ficus or whatever, but I don't have a base that matches with this kind of gray, silver, green foliage. What do I? Am I lying to y'all? Am I lying directly to your faces? No, I'm telling you the truth because that's what I do. So we're going to fill in with our big flowers, go to our small flowers, come back, fill in with, this is going to be like this, fill in with some greenery. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in another video, but we're on Patreon now. I just did like a spiel in the last video I recorded today about Patreon. I'm not gonna sell it again because I'm starting to feel like, oh god, I'm overselling it. But one of my patrons on there was asking about grapevines because a lot of people are very intimidated by grapevines. I would, not that I would rather do grapevine than like a deco mesh wreath. They're so much easier for me because I'm just like, I know what I want, I put it in there. It usually works out. But I also have a background in floral design, so I kind of know what I'm looking for. But Amanda Brown, she sent me some pictures of grapevine she did, and everything was very, I'm not dragging Amanda here. I'm just trying to give you an example so I can give you another example. Everything was very like everything was very close down. Like there was no, like if say I cut this stem off and all my stems off and I just glued the heads on here, this one looks fine. But if I did that for every flower, it'd be like everything looks so tight. So I told her, take your flowers, leave a stem, even if this is only, how long is this? This is like 3 inches. It doesn't really apply to this one because it's a big thing that we don't want sticking out all the way, but I told her to just get her stems in there and don't worry about pushing them all the way down. Just get them in there so they're up a little bit, and you can manipulate them afterwards if you so choose. I'm going to show you some more when we get to the I mean, these don't really bend because I don't think these are meant to, like, these aren't for wreaths. I just bought them because they were pretty. I think these are more for, like, putting in a vase and pretending like they're real. How long do we think I'm going to struggle with this label on here? So I wanted to do this because I was like, I was watching a movie or something, and like it was a baby shower, or a bridal shower, or like a luncheon. It was something like women. It wasn't like a mixed party. It was like, hey, we're a bunch of girls, we're getting together. And they had like a wreath on the front door. And I said, that's something I haven't done. I mean, a lot of my wreaths you could do that with, but I wanted to go something that's definitely like bridal, tea party, brunch kind of deal. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm gonna put, that one's there. I think I want this one kind of down here, because I usually do like one side heavier, one side, like if I bring all this all the way down here, I'm only gonna bring this to here. But I think I just kind of want to do whatever happens. Like maybe they'll be equal, maybe one side will be longer, maybe both sides will be short. Well, both sides won't be short because there's a lot of wreath to fill in here, so. But yeah, I'm gonna try to not put these all the way down. Like, see how this one's in here? It's sticking up. And that makes this small frame, it's an 18-inch frame, makes it look bigger, but also gives us opportunity to fill in around. So we got that. Also going to, I like these leaves. The leaves are nice. If I paid like $4 a flower, I think these were like $2. These are from Walmart. I think these were like $2 a flower. And I don't usually use leaves that come with flowers unless they're nice, and these are, so. There we go. Can we see everything okay? Sorry about that. Wait, I have 3 of these. Well, now what do I do? We'll just put that in there. I thought I only had 2. But why would I buy 2 of something? I would either buy 1, 3, or 5. This one's kind of pointing, say, outwards, and that one's kind of pointing outwards. So do we do all of them going outside, or do we stick one in? I'd like this to be kind of. Come on, bow. The bow always gets in the way, but like you need the bow there to know where you're putting everything else, pretty much. So I'm gonna put that in there. And if you. Not everybody has a glue pot. Not everybody has a need to have a. Why are you playing with me, Wreath? I hate when you think a wreath is going to be cool and then it's just like it's a jerk to you. Hold on. If you don't have a glue pot, you can go around just like I did. Stick these in here, come back with your, look at this. Random piece of paper. Utility blade. Magnet that fell off my refrigerator, and the magnet popped out the back. And it's extremely hot. If you don't have a glue pot, you can put these in here, then come in and just squirt, squirt, squirt. You're good. I prefer the glue pot just because I want to stick and go. Alright, our next big flowers are probably these roses. And where are these from? These are from Hobby Lobby, huh? Yeah. This is a weird flower for me to buy from Hobby Lobby. I wonder if I bought it for something specific. Because this is something you could probably find at Walmart. You know, same kind of quality pretty much. For a lot less than $13, but I'm going to take this because this has like a little bud on it and that's cute to me. But these, well, yeah, I'm gonna maybe leave these a little bit longer. I mean, leave the leaves on, because like these aren't bad. Those look kind of crappy, but these aren't bad. So I'll leave these on. I'll show you the difference in case you couldn't see that. Frustration. Okay, this is, there was something else that this is, I gotta pull this off too. Ugh. Some of these from Hobby Lobby, like see these leaves? These are like the nicer flowers, so they have these nicer leaves on them, and then they fill in with these leaves. I'm not so much interested in these leaves, but I like those. I'm going to kind of just slide them down a little bit. This is too long, and I don't want those leaves in there, so I'm going to separate this, keep this, and cut it down. I'm going to put these little things in first, just so they're around here somewhere. So how are you guys today? Did I ask? How rude of me. How are you? It's Saturday the 20th of March here. I was up and at them early in the morning. I finished a wreath that I don't think you guys are gonna see for 6.5 months now. It's a Southern Charm wreath. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If you don't, you don't. If you're on Patreon, you've seen it. You've at least seen a picture, not the video. But I finished that this morning, and I was like, oh, my throat was bothering me. Not my throat, my tooth. My tooth hole was bothering me. I was tired. I didn't get enough sleep, and I was like, you know what? I finished this wreath. I am gonna go lay back down. And as soon as I went to go get in bed, I was like, crap. I have those 3 orders. I sold 3 wreaths yesterday. 3 wreaths yesterday, like afternoon, evening, after FedEx had already come. So I packed them all up last night. And I was like, oh. I said it's like 10 o'clock. If I go lay down, I'm gonna have to make sure I'm up before like 11:30 to get to Walgreens to drop these off, to make sure I get the FedEx pickup. So I was about to get in bed and I was like, okay, business, you stay here. I'm gonna go to Walgreens. So I pack up these 3 8-inch boxes, 22 by 22 by 8. I refuse to make more than one trip out of my house or into Walgreens, so I load them all into my car. They're stacked. What is 8 times 3? 24? Yeah. So they're 2 feet tall of me carrying these huge boxes out into my car, jamming them in the back seat, going to Walgreens, and I get there. and there's never anybody at the photo desk. Like, that's where you gotta go to drop off the packages. So I'm just standing there waiting for, you know, the person who, the cashier. There's two people, there's a cashier and there's another employee, and they're talking to each other. One of them's like, you just have to take this tea, you drink this tea, it doesn't have a lot of flavor, you put a Robitussin in it if you want. And I was like, what are they talking about? But one of the cashiers was sick, as I would later learn. So they're like having this personal conversation. They're not helping anybody, and I'm just standing there and I'm like, hello? This is supposed to be convenient for me. Come on. So she comes over and she's like, oh, she's like groaning, moaning and groaning. And she's like, I'm sorry about that. And I was like, yeah, well, it seems very important that you two have this conversation while there was a customer waiting. So she's trying to ring up, because they have to scan the packages, and it's supposed to be convenient. Like, it's like, oh, convenient drop-off locations. It has never been convenient, not once. Not once have I walked in there and then been like, hi, okay, here, scan this. What's your number? Okay, your tracking's going to be sent to your customer. Bye. It's always somebody calling somebody, getting somebody on the phone, sacrificing a lamb to the Dark Lord to get these packages sent. So she finally gets them all sorted out. And I'm like, thank you. She said, thank you. They'll be going out on Monday. And I had turned around and I said, what? She said, they'll go out Monday. I said, they don't pick up today? Because I'm pretty sure I've already sent packages on Saturday, and FedEx has picked up. That is the whole reason I have left my house and not taken a nap that I really, really wanted to take. She's like, nope, they don't pick up on Saturdays. And I was like, okay. So I got myself a Rice Krispie treat. I checked out, and as I'm checking out, it's the same woman who's at the checkout now. She gets on the intercom. She's like, does FedEx pick up on Saturdays? And I'm like, please tell me yes, because I told this woman her package was gonna, not that she cares. I ship faster than freaking Amazon. Like, when you order from me, it's going out like ASAP. And I told a woman who is in Denham Springs, which is maybe an hour away from here, I was like, hey, I'm going to ship Saturday. It'll probably be there either Sunday or Monday at the latest. And now they're not going out until Monday. And I'm like, I'm not going to message her again. Because she didn't message me back and say anything. So I was just like, you know what? It says that not to expect delivery. My Etsy setup works like... Okay, did I use all my roses? There's a lot of them over there. But that's fine. My Etsy setup's where it says not to expect that the product won't even ship for like 3 to 4 days, which never happens. I never had an order that long before I ship it. So it'll go out Monday, and I was just like, I got home and I talked to my mom later. I texted my mom and told her, I was like, I stopped. I was almost in bed and I didn't go to bed, and I got out of bed almost, because I wasn't in bed. But I said, you know, let me put these white ones in first, because I just want to use these as an accent, and if I don't need a ton of them, I'm not going to add a ton of them. I was like, I left the house and I didn't need to. I didn't need to leave today. I don't need to leave. I wouldn't have had to leave tomorrow. I mean, we're going by my mom's house for dinner tomorrow. Probably our last dinner at my mom's house before she moves. I was like, I could have taken a nap. And she's like, well, you know, you got it done. And I was like, I could have been napping already. But then I took a nap, and it was a pretty good one. Don't you hate it when your pliers just disappear? Oh, yeah, they are. Don't worry about that, baby. I don't know what it was, but don't worry about it. So I came back here, took a nap, got up, fixed lunch, I did some thumbnails, uploaded some videos. Finally finished watching Justice League. I've been watching Justice League for like 12 hours. I mean, I guess that is a 4-hour-long movie, so like 12 hours is not that bad, I guess, but I was just like, will this just be over? Why is this movie so ungodly long? I was like, it's never gonna end. And then it ended, and they were like, epilogue, and I was like, oh my god, there's still 40 minutes left. But I finished that. Made me some dinner. Well, I made a sandwich. I don't know that counts as like dinner. But yeah. I bought a fryer yesterday because I've been obsessed with tater tots and French fries and crispy crowns. So I bought a little mini deep fryer thing, and I made hash browns this morning, and then I made fries for lunch, and then I was like, okay, Adam, you can only turn this thing on once a day. You're gonna have to choose your battles. So I had hash browns for breakfast, chicken wings, and French fries for dinner, for lunch, and then for salad, I just had, for dinner, I just had a sandwich. Cause like, you know, if I'm gonna show up to like my next therapy appointment, they're gonna be like, did you gain 40 pounds since last Thursday? And I'll be like, yep. But the fries are so much better. Oh my God, like I don't have to explain that to anybody, you know. Like, not so much as the fries, but when I was making like hash browns and tater tots, which I love, for some reason, like I'm obsessed with them lately, they never get crispy in the oven. And like I have a convection oven, a convection toaster oven, so it's basically an air fryer, but they just will not get crispy. And it takes forever. And this, you know, you turn it on, you got some molten hot oil boiling, and you just throw them in there, and 3 minutes later, they're done. Why don't I have a drink over here? That is the real issue. But since I watched Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, because we definitely need a distinction between the first disaster and this one. I started watching Man of Steel because I was like, okay, I don't remember how we got to where we are in Justice League between Man of Steel and the Batman, Superman. I don't get Batman. I get that people like Batman. I get it. I understand it. He is in this group with all these people who either have these otherworldly abilities or have been given these otherworldly abilities by some kind of accident or science or something. He's literally just an old rich white guy. Like somebody at one point, one of the characters is like, what's your superpower? And he's like, I'm rich. And I was like, oh. I was like, that sounds kind of like a super villain thing if I remember correctly, but whatever. But he's like fighting this giant, you know, he's fighting this giant thing. I don't even know what the thing was, if it was an alien or, I don't know. I think that was established in one of the earlier movies and I just was not paying attention. Or it's been so long since I've seen him. But I'm like, you are a human person with no special abilities besides a grappling hook. This thing would have killed you the first time it hit you. And Superman is so overpowered. Like they're like, oh, we gotta get Superman, we gotta get Superman. And he shows up and he just like destroys everything. And I was like, what is the point of making a movie if the hero is like indestructible? These are stuck together and I'm trying to pull them apart for some reason. That like for some reason, like I thought they were two different things, and I was like pulling and I was like, why would this come off? But it's two that are like meant to be together. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that tonight, because once I'm done with this, I'm done for the day. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that tonight. It's kind of like a background noise movie. Although I did enjoy Justice League, it's just, I'm not that into the superhero movies. And I just think it's, I don't know who was around first, like the Marvel, I know that probably the Marvel movies were around first. I don't know, like the comics came first. There is so much crossover between those characters. I was like, okay, so this one guy is basically Iron Man, but he has an Ethernet connection. And this guy is basically like Captain America. And this guy is like a fish person. I was like, there's not a lot of variety in these, in between these two universes. And I was giving Michelle, I was like live texting Michelle. I was like, okay, they're gonna go find Superman and bring him back to life. And she's like, okay. And I was like, all right, they found Superman, and he was just like buried in a regular cemetery. And she's like, what are you telling me about? And I was like, I'm watching this movie and I'm telling you all about it. She's like, why? And I was like, because I don't have any friends to talk to except for my camera friends. I was like, okay, Superman, they brought him back to life, but he's really, really pissed off about it. I can understand, like, everybody knew that Superman was like this alien from another planet with all these superpowers, and they bury him in like the local cemetery in Kansas, where these other people can just go dig him up in the middle of the night. I feel like I made a mistake by not including more down here, but. Now there's like 10 ranunculus in a row. Oh man, my throat is starting to hurt again. These Walmart fly, I gotta give it to them. These are hard to get off of here. These things, you know how you they hold the leaf up? That is on there snug. Michael should take some notice from Walmart. Michael needs to call Sam and be like, hey, how y'all make y'all flowers so good? Oh, look at this sweet little one. Like, look at this. Those tulips, I mean, I looked at that one the wrong way and it fell apart. So we're going by my mom's tomorrow. She's making sandwiches. She's like, I packed everything else. Meaning she packed like all her big dishes, and I was like, you realize Easter is like in 2 weeks, right? She's like, yeah, I guess I'll just get like a disposable. She's like obsessed with turkeys. Like at Thanksgiving, she's like, the turkeys are 69 cents. And I'm like, okay. She's like, how much room do you have in your freezer? And I'm like, I don't have any room in my freezer. My freezer right now is filled with tater tots and what else is in there? Tater tots and what was that other thing? Tater tots and Hot Pockets? Tater tots, french fries, chicken strips. I was like, Mom, I have the freezer of a 21-year-old frat boy. Just filled with Hot Pockets. So she like got a turkey, and then she found a cheaper turkey, so she got that turkey too. And then after Thanksgiving, they still had a bunch of turkeys left over, so they weren't sailing. And I was like, oh my god. So she always has a turkey in her freezer. And she's always trying to cook it. She's like, you want to come over for lunch? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm cooking a turkey. And I'm like, wait, what? So I said, what's going to happen at, all your stuff's packed up? She's like, oh, we'll just do like disposable stuff. But yeah, I'm super excited for my mom. We looked at paint colors when we were at Walmart the other day. Because like the house doesn't need to be painted. Like one of the houses we looked at, it like needed to be painted. This one, it's like a neutral. But like you move into a house, like let's freshen it up with a coat of paint. Just so you have that new house smell for a little while. And if she wanted to change the color, so we were like looking and just kind of like checking stuff out. And she seemed really excited about it. All I have to worry about is the fact that she's like, we're evicting an old man. I was like, we are not evicting an old man. The people who are selling the house to you are evicting an old man. I was like, that's got nothing to do with you. He was given time. I mean, I get the house wasn't on the market. Oh, look, I forgot to put this somewhere. The house wasn't on the market for that long. I said, but they had to have told him, hey, we're thinking about doing this. I mean, I doubt they just showed up one day and were like, hey, we're selling the house. Can we start bringing people in here? Especially because he's been living there for 10 years. Like, I'm sure he had noticed, but my mom is just like, I don't want him to be out on the street. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, but you're not kicking him out. And y'all, when I went to Walmart, not Walmart, when I went to Walgreens, I came back, because her house is right by the Walgreens I go to ship everything. It takes me like 3 minutes, maybe, depending on what time of day it is, and if I can get across the highway in one go. It takes me like 3 minutes to get from my house to her house, and I was like, oh, I was like, this is so nice. So I told her, I was like, oh, it's going to be so great when you move. I'm going to be right there. She's like, yeah, it'll be nice. And I was like, I'll come over every morning before you go to work for breakfast. You can fix breakfast. And then I'll come over and, like, for lunch, I'll come over and I'll, you know, whatever we're having for lunch, you can fix lunch on your break for me. And then I'll come over at dinner. And she was like, she's like, how about you fix lunch sometimes and I come home for lunch? And I was like, oh. I was like, well, what about breakfast? And she said, I don't eat breakfast. I said, well, dinner? She said, maybe we can do dinner a couple times a week if you want. And I was like, okay. But I think that'll be nice. She's trying to get away from working during the day. She wants to actually work that later shift. So if I make dinner for me, you know, I can go over there and be like, hey, this is what I made for dinner for when you get home. She's like, what am I supposed to do? This is a pile of cold hot pockets and tater tots. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we're having for dinner, Mother. They were warm when I cooked them. It's gonna be fun though. And she loves setting up a new house. Every time I move, she's been like, oh, this is my favorite part, is like setting up a new house and figuring out where everything's gonna go. The last time I moved, she was still in Florida when I moved back here, because I moved back 1 month, she moved back the next month. So like I didn't have her here to help me set up this house, which was fine. But she was like, oh, I like setting up the house, and I was like, I know, but I can't wait a month to figure out where my dishes are gonna go. I love this. How much was this? Oh, I cut it off because I needed I think it was like $6.99. I want to go back to Michael's next time they have their clearance and get some more of this, because I just think it's like a nice. I did it again. Last time I cut these too short, and I just did it again. But it's like a nice. It's a really nice texture. It's a nice color. It's kind of drapey without being like super drapey. And yeah, I did just notice that I put nothing around the back of the bow. I think I am so far ahead in filming that I could not film anything for a month and like still be ahead enough that I wouldn't work, like I wouldn't be stressed out about it. Not that I would ever do that, because I wouldn't have anything to do, but I was looking today and I was like, okay, when is this video? I was on the phone with my mom and I was like, wait, I have to make a thumbnail for this video, and I think it's going up on May like 23rd. And she said, you have a video done for May 23rd? And I was like, yeah. She's like, you have videos until May 23rd? I said, no, I still need like 3 more for May before I can move on to June. And she said, how many do you have for June? And I said, like 3 or 4, because I made a bunch of patriotic wreaths. And she's just like, oh my god. But it's not enough. I don't think it's bad to hustle. I'm working twice as hard to get half as far as most of these channels on YouTube. If only I could figure out how to turn a plunger into a Christmas tree. Oh. Oh yeah, this is the wrong way to put this in. I'm like coming at it sideways from the back. This looks very wedding to me too. Weddingy? Welding? This looks like something a welder would like. Weddingy. When you had the glue pot for on too long and you start going crazy. This bush is weird. I know I cut it down some already, but even if it wasn't cut down, it would still be like structured weird. But I don't know if like all these are meant to be cut up or if I just cut them all up. I mean, I assume most of them are meant to be at least cut down here, but I don't know that they anticipate you cutting everything off separately because you want to make a complete arrangement. Since we are getting to the ending of this, this is when I'm going to start making sure that there is stuff where there needs to be stuff. So this should be the only area that's going to be open. So if there's anything low, if there's anything empty. Get some in there. I really need to come and do something over here because I don't like the way that looks. Just because we're decorating like, oh come on, we're decorating like the front of the wreath, but you don't just see the front of the wreath, you see the sides too. So even though I'm not gonna like, you know, put a $4 flower on the side of the grapevine, I do like to have it a little filled in, mostly because I always remember to take a pic from the side so you can see how thick the wreath is, and nothing like getting outside to take pictures and you're like, wait, that looks terrible because there's no side on it. This was from Michael's. This is nice too. I just like that kind of drapey one more. Just like stuck there. It looks like a cabbage. And it's too dark. Oh no, that's hopped off. Okay. Oh, this one will go in like a cabbage too. It's too dark for me to go take pictures, but it's okay. I never know what time it is anymore with the time change. I'm like, oh, I still have time to take pictures. And like I go outside and I'm like, why is it so incredibly bright and I can't see anything out here? And I'm like, oh, because it's one time, but it's really the other time. Like my golden hour has moved. We stuck those up a little bit, now we can kind of maneuver things, fluff it out. Michaels, thank you. I want that there, but I feel like I need it over here. No, I don't need it over here. Here's another piece. I'm gonna put this piece over here. This reminds me so much of doing gel nails. I don't know if anybody's had gel nails or if anybody does. I'm assuming more people have had gel nails than have done gel nails, but the gel is just like that. When it comes out of the pot, it's real stringy and you gotta kind of whip it around the brush. That's too much for right there, I think. Oh, fix that problem, huh? I'm like, that's too much, and then the whole thing comes apart. Why are the Walmart flowers so much better than the ones that you pay extra for? They're probably all made. They're probably all made in the exact same factory. I'm gonna put this in here, kind of. Oh, I need to. No, I don't need to turn that off, I guess. This in here so it's behind the bow, but it's kind of sticking up some. And I think those are all of my pale cream colored, pink, cream, white flowers. I like the green in there. I think it really gives you a nice contrast between the pinks and the whites. Why is there a bug on here, and what kind of bug is it? Why does it look like a termite? Does this wreath have termites? Oh, like a little ant? Okay. It's probably something I shouldn't say, but right before I say, if you want to buy this wreath, if you want to buy this termite-infested wreath, but it was not a termite, it was an ant or something. I want nothing here. I want to push this up. Yes, and then I want this to go here. If you see me squeezing the life out of these things, just to make sure the leaves don't get stuck in the glue, because that makes a big mess. And my finger's glued inside of there. Okay. Pretty. That needs something. I'm actually going to put this in here kind of backwards so it can maybe act like it's part of the stem, you know, the part of this peony, and it'll fill in this whole spot right there. Yeah, that's better. It's very rare that I put a flower in backwards, but sometimes that just needs to happen. I was like, where's the other blue bag? this is the ribbon I use mostly because I was like, hey, there's a bow right there, and I wanted to make one, but also, I didn't want to put like a cream or a white with this. I think I didn't want it to be too bridally in case someone wants it for Mother's Day. Good? Yep. Okay, so if you like this wreath, there's a link down below where you can purchase it on Etsy. If the link doesn't work, that means somebody got it before you, and I'm sorry, but there's another link down below directly to my Etsy where you can buy the wreaths just like this, I'm sure. Unless something happened and everybody buys all of them and I quit YouTube and I live on an island now. There is a link to Instagram if you want to keep up with me over there. I just kind of post occasional stories, reminders of coupon codes, pictures of wreaths when the videos come out, stuff like that. You can join us on Patreon for things like the after show. You can see wreaths before they come out, way before they come out. Like this one is not coming out until May. My patrons get to see this as soon as I'm done filming this video. Live streams, polls, questions, all that good stuff. You can tip me on Venmo if you want. Buy me a, what do I need today? I usually say a box of coffee, but you can buy me a bag of Great Value brand tater tots for my my deep fryer, because I'm a deep fryer person now. That's why I've gained 40 pounds since Thursday. Okay, thanks for watching. I will see you guys later, and yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Have a good night. I know I'm gonna, because I'm gonna get in bed with the baby dog. He's a baby. I'm talking about you. You go outside? Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.